What's going on, guys? Hope you had a great weekend. Got a lot of stuff done Friday and Saturday. Today, finished it. We finished up Sunday scans and got it out. A lot of good charts, and I hope you all read it. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Especially the dads out there. I've got 4 young children myself, so got to enjoy today. But let's get into it. This week we've got Micron earnings on Wednesday after hours. Yep, Wednesday after hours. Last week we had the Fed, that little up down, action. We started the week last week with the big gap up about 3%. A couple days of pullback into the 9 and the 20 EMA here, and then week close on Fed day, and then big gap up. Since I think we're gapping down a little bit in the after hours. Not sure if we've gotten bought up much yet. I imagine we will. Still under these highs on the Qs, but just keeping it simple above rising 20 May, above rising 50 SMA. Let's look for setups. Holy semis in the scans. There's probably about 30 or 40 of those mid-tier semis, and shout out to Bracco for just picking SOXL properly last week, or maybe it was Friday. I'm not too sure. Friday before, but Thursday before. The Thursday before, sorry. Because that was really the best vehicle for this. It's going to make the biggest move. And gosh, it's hard picking between some of these semis, whether it's, something like Wolf, POWI, AOSL, Penguin, AEHR, MXL, LSCC. And these are some of the smaller ones. You've got, TXN. That looks phenomenal. You've got LRCX, AMAT, KLAC, NXPI, On Semiconductor, TSEM, STM, SITM, SMTC, QAMBQ. What did I miss? SEMO. Siva. Gosh, so many of these just mid-tier semis and small semis look incredible. And then you've got the SMH, which made new highs on Thursday. If I say Friday, just ignore it. I've kind of got this little makeshift rising channel type thing. It's not like a rising channel like, oh, look what it's going to do. No. They were just trading in this channel. These often trade in these channels for a very, very long time. Or you get like a little overshoot, and then you sometimes, Dark's done studies on these. When you retest the top of these channels after an overshoot, it can be like parabolic. And sometimes you overshoot these channels and you pull back into range, and it's a little pullback. But for now, very orderly. I think that's valid. IWM was the other one that is kind of in this channel right now, and some things that I'll be watching within for, again, break and retest of those. Anyways, let's get into some stuff. It was a lot of setups, but when you really think about it, when you turn most of those semis into SOXL, when you pick one or two of the like Bitcoin miner, NeoCloud type stocks, and then when you pick a few of the leading stocks, it really is a little bit more narrowed. Throw in a few of the energy, whether it's FCell, FLNC, or some of the solars, EMPH, SCDG, FSLR, TE, combined with just some thematic AI stocks. OUST, obviously I know a lot of us have a position in this from some of these circles here. If you do, congratulations. This looks phenomenal. The way that these stocks pull back in and can't get below the 20 MA, and then you get an inside. If you're going to be buying this, you got to be buying these down here in these upper wicks. Look at this invalidation right here. And then again on Thursday, look at that invalidation. There's no need to chase any of these higher. And that's what I'm seeing with some of these like semi stocks too. These are really short bases. Like, it's technically not proper. If you look at the weekly time frame, I already got it on the right. If you look at the weekly time frame on the here, this should realistically, these should go sideways a little bit more. The thing is, there's so many of them, I can see some of them continuing higher while some of them base out properly, and you get the index to just continue to trend up. Like AMD, is that enough right there? I mean, it was on SNDK, earlier back here in some of these flags after their initial moves. I can see this being just all that it needs to go higher. Same with an MRVL. All right, Intel's based properly enough. Glad we got in this at 112 here on this gap remount day. So overall, I think coming into the week with willingness and optimism, I think is reasonable. And I think you just look for feedback from what people in the group are saying, what your positions are saying, what your recent trades are saying, and so far a lot of things pointing positively. I want to talk about some of these NeoCloud Bitcoin miner type stocks. HUT, I think, is super reasonable. I'm really hoping we get a bit of a gap down, kind of shake around this 118 to 120 ish zone. Again, on the weekly, I could see this taking a little bit of time, but I don't mind giving it a whirl if we get some weakness to shake down here. Same thing with an Irene. Looks similar. You got these bear gaps above, which I'm mindful of. I'm less gung-ho about Irene than I am something like APLD, for example. Man, you got a bull gap right here. If you look at this on the hourly, you see the upper wick. See that gap up there? Let's take a look at the hourly. If we get any weakness on this into this sub 45 range, 45 to 44, and you get this to go red to green, I'm all over that. I had this down here at 37, and I had to let it go back here. Turns out it was the right decision. I should have rebought it. Anyway, so APLD and HUT are top of the list for me in that sector. I could see you choosing a Galaxy. Galaxy here. I could see you choosing a CLSK. I could see Riot. One more that I want to bring up, actually. So obviously NBIS is like the leader. You got CoreWeave, which is nice here. All that options flow. Nice oops reversal down at the bottom of the range. But I want to talk about this booster on here, BRUN. So before I mention this, this Wi-Fi has been making a hell of a move. Basically doubled since last week Thursday here. The week prior Thursday. But this boost run, so this is a SPAC, and this is trading really cleanly. And you've got action right here. This makes its IPO run, pulls back in, kind of builds out this nice range, pushes higher low. This is tradable, guys. There's definitely some demand down here. I would prefer that it get a little bit tighter, a little bit longer, but I really want to put this on your guys' radar. There's huge demand in the market, not only for their product, but for these kind of stocks. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this make quite a large move. And then, of course, we've got our cyber and software space, right? Crowd, DDOG, RBRK, Snowflake, Twilio, PanW, DOCN, and Frog, right? And all of these look attractive. I understand people's hesitation with it. Snow just went sideways for 100 days right here. But looking at these in isolation, there is reason that people are that traders should be focused on them. And I don't care which one you choose. I don't care whether you choose DDOG, Crowd, PanW, RBRK, Snowflake, Twilio, DOCN, Frog. I really don't. And I don't really think it matters per se. There's going to be subtle nuances, like a Crowd over a PanW, or a DDOG over a RBRK, or Twilio, or whatever. But I do think it's worthy to have one or two of these on your list, and look to execute if you get some sort of daily or hourly setup on these. And then into some of the main ones that I'll be looking at. Gave a good 20-minute monologue on GLW in the pre-market on Friday about how I think this is still worthy, valid, attractive, and playable. And, ended up kind of hesitating on Thursday, and I guess not willing to take it. I should have been. It gave, the perfect morning push pull into the, undercut the opening range lows. I wasn't looking at like an intraday or anything, but I was watching the, price come in, and I had a chance to get involved in this, and just didn't. Here's the hourly. Now it's pretty simple what I'm looking at now. Now I'm just eyeballing this hourly. The stock proved that it was just a shake below the 50 SMA. It's proven that, and now I've got this area to trade against. I'm going to clean up my lines on this. So we've got Friday's low right there at 180, which I think is the first level that you can put on there. And I think that's about it. You put that Friday low on there, and then maybe like 188, and give or take, and then you just treat this hourly here like a daily. If you're looking at this big move up on the daily, if we get some hourly tightness right here, that means the daily would have an inside day, and we'd be able to take that hourly higher low for this next leg higher. And that's exactly what I want to see happen. Other stock I'm pretty jazzed about is this QCOM. I want to see this consolidate, but look at the change in character in this since this move higher. And then not only that, is we're getting that tightness here on the right side. You've got this bull gap being supported at 188 to 190, remounting the very quickly, remounting the 9 and the 20. I would like this to get a little bit tighter here, but again, I think this is a stock that can be put in that Intel, AMD, Marvell, Dell category, and it's a stock that I want to keep on the radar. Nokia. This one's a little bit not necessarily lower on the list, but it had a weak close in the 50 SMA. I'm just kind of going to see if this wants to do the similar thing that we saw in BE, kind of undercut the 50, GLW undercut the 50, and then kind of go. NVIDIA owns a stake in this. It made a massive move, 140%, and now it's pulling back to the 50-day, doing nothing wrong. Stocks can pull back to the 50-day. It's not relative weakness to see stocks pull back to the 50-day just because some other ones are still trending and have not started basing yet, right? Because is Intel relatively weak? Was it relatively weak when it was pulling back here in mid-June and just basing down because, NBIS was up there, or because AMD was still higher? No. It's not. It's just basing out. It's deserved to do it after a 150% move. So interested there. And then I want to touch on these like energy type of stocks again, data center energy, fuel cell stocks, basically fuel cell and solar. Okay. I thought this was actionable on Friday on the undercut of 20 and reclaim. If you look at a weekly, pretty simple, big move up, pull back to the weekly 9 EMA. You get a tight doji candle, and then you just get going. It's a very, very clean weekly. Pull back, dangle underneath the 20 EMA, and nice remount right here. These are some of those like mid-range pivots that I like. We highlighted this earlier in the week last week on how there's a subtle bull gap that never got filled, and we could kind of wedge pop through the 20 EMA, and sure enough we did. I bet if we look on this on a half day, it's a little bit cleaner. Yeah, look at this on a half day. You see this kind of move lower, getting tight, putting in higher lows against that 9 and the 20. They flatten out, and you pop back through. You get a clean crossback. Go study the cycle of price action, people. Study the cycle of price action from Oliver Kell. You'll be happy you did so. Don't want to be too long here. TER looks great. LSCC looks great. STM look great. Powi looks great. SMTC. Actually, I do want to mention this because this is a really nice inside day right here, and you're kind of getting these, higher lows. It kind of looks like AEHR here too, which I also think is attractive. I still think this is going higher, and I think this deserves of being on your list. A-Lab, CRDO, MRVL, these aren't buyable. They look, they still look very, very strong. BE, very, very strong, not buyable right now. MBIS, same thing. POWL is one of the leaders that I do think is actually potentially in a good location. I mean, this is super strong. I could see people. I could see this being on the list for a buy. Pulls back to the 50-day, gap up the next day. Getting tight here, holding 20 May. It's a little bit thin. It's a little bit of a thin stock, but I think it's reasonable. And then these these solar stocks here, whether it's SEDG, ENPH, you can just look at these on the weekly. Man, it's hard not to like these down here. And then there's a headline last week about solar stocks overtaking coal for supplying the grid with energy, something like that. And I saw like 4 tweets about it. So I think that's notable. It's like simple enough of a thesis like that it will probably gain some attention. And then you've got ENPH and SEGG with the recent PRs with powering data centers and transformer and whatever the hell. So it's good enough there. You got Leopold taking his position in TE. I've got a position in this at 690 in my Robinhood account after the Fuzzy Panda short back here. And anyways, yeah, still looks attractive there. FCell looks great. I still think they've got a lot of room to run. FLNC, I think it looks attractive. It's a little bit wicky candles, but I really like the way that it closed Friday here. And even BLDP too. BLDP double inside here, back where it found support previously. And then, yeah, TLN. Right, I'm just kind of going through the data center energy stocks. TLN there, GV big moves. This TLN, I got a position in this in the long-term account or whatever Robinhood account. I posted in the long-term channel the thesis and the buys on this. Not last week, but the week prior. Incredible week action. I mean, this was up 20%. Throw this on a log chart weekly. Damn. This looks crazy. All right. Well, yeah, if anybody's got any questions, hit me up. We'll be on Zoom all week. Yeah, let's be ready. Let's have a good time. Don't force anything. What's setup? What's the thesis? What's my stop? Let the stop work. Know your plans for each of your positions. Let them work. You're not smarter than the moving averages. You never will be. It's a bull market, guys. Don't be shocked when things make big moves. It's a bull market. You don't need to be a genius. Hey, if you're trying to short stuff, quit it. Okay, over and out.